I was the only woman in the briefing room that morning. 10 men sat around the long table. They all wore dark suits. I wore a light blue shirt and held my notebook tight. I felt nervous but also proud. I worked hard to be there. My name is Sarah. I was married for 6 years. My husband's name was Imran. He always said he supported my job. He told people he was proud of me. I believed him. I trusted him with my whole heart. The meeting started. Our manager spoke about a new project. It was important for the company. Everyone listened carefully. I tried to focus, but my phone vibrated in my bag. I ignored it. Work came first. After the meeting, my coworkers talked in small groups. Some smiled at me. Some did not. I was used to that. Being the only woman was not easy, but I stayed strong. When I went home that evening, Imran was quiet. He sat on the sofa and looked at his phone. I asked about his day. He said, "It was fine." His voice was cold. I felt something was different. At dinner, he did not eat much. He did not ask about my meeting. That hurt me. Before, he always asked. I told myself not to worry. People have bad days. That night, he went to bed early. I stayed awake and thought about my life. I worked hard. I loved my husband. I tried to be a good wife. I felt tired but hopeful. The next few days were strange. Imran started coming home late. He smiled at his phone more than he smiled at me. When I asked questions, he said I worried too much. At work, I stayed busy. I prepared reports and joined more meetings. I wanted to grow. I wanted respect. But inside my heart, I felt fear. One afternoon, my manager asked me to stay after work. He praised my performance. He said I was strong and brave. His words made me feel seen. When I reached home, Imran was not there. He sent a message saying he would be late again. I sat alone and ate dinner quietly. That night, I cried softly. I did not know why my heart felt heavy. I still trusted him, but doubt was slowly growing inside me. Weeks passed and things did not improve. Imran spent more time outside. He guarded his phone closely. If I entered the room, he turned the screen away. I told myself I was imagining things. Love means trust, I thought. I did not want to become a suspicious wife. One day, I finished work early. I decided to surprise him. I cooked his favorite meal. I waited. Hours passed. The food became cold. He came home late again. He said he had work. His shirt smelled different. Not like office air. My heart beat fast, but I stayed quiet. That night, I could not sleep. I remembered small moments. Missed calls. Short answers. No eye contact. All the signs were there, but I was afraid to see them. At work, I struggled to focus. During another briefing, I noticed how confident I had become. I spoke clearly. People listened. I felt strong there, but weak at home. One evening, I saw a message on his phone by accident. A woman's name I did not know. The message said, "I miss you." My hands shook. I did not read more. I felt sick. I returned the phone to the table and walked away. My mind was loud. My heart was breaking. I wanted to ask him, but fear stopped me. What if I was wrong? What if he lied? What if the truth destroyed everything? Days later, I met my old friend Aisha. She listened quietly as I spoke. She told me something simple. You deserve honesty. Her words stayed with me. That night, I looked at Imran and felt distance. The love I felt before was changing into sadness. I began to understand that ignoring pain does not make it disappear. It only grows bigger. At work, I was the only woman again in a big meeting. I spoke with confidence. I felt proud. I wished I could feel the same at home. That evening, I made a decision. I would ask him the truth. I was tired of silence. I was tired of fear. I did not know what would happen, but I knew I deserved respect. That night, I asked him to sit with me. My voice was calm, but my hands were shaking. I asked him if there was someone else. At first, he denied it. He said I was tired and confused. His words felt empty. I looked into his eyes and waited. Silence filled the room. Then he looked down. He said my name softly. He told me the truth. He said he felt lonely. He said he made a mistake. He said it did not mean anything. Every word felt like a knife. I did not shout. I did not cry at first. I felt numb. I asked how long. He answered quietly. I stood up and walked to the window. The city lights looked far away. I realized something important in that moment. His choice was not my fault. I thought about all the times I supported him, all the times I waited, all the trust one gave. I felt sad but also clear. He asked for forgiveness. He promised to change. I listened, but my heart was tired. That night, I slept in another room. I felt alone, but also free from lies. The next morning, I went to work. I joined another briefing. Again, I was the only woman. But this time I felt different. I was not small. I was not weak. I was strong. I spoke with confidence. My voice did not shake. People listened carefully. I realized I had strength inside me all along. After work, I went home and packed a small bag. I told Imran I needed space. He looked surprised, but I stayed calm. I moved to my sister's house. The first night was hard. I cried. But I also slept peacefully. The truth hurt, but lies hurt more. I began to heal. Days turned into weeks. I focused on myself. I worked hard. I rested. I talked to people who cared about me. Imran called many times. I answered some calls. We talked calmly. He apologized again. I listened, but I did not rush. I learned that forgiveness does not mean staying in pain. At work, I received new responsibilities. My manager trusted me. My confidence grew. I felt proud of the woman I was becoming. One day, I stood in another briefing room. Once again, I was the only woman. But this time I smiled. I was no longer afraid to stand alone. I realized that being alone is better than being with someone who betrays your trust. I made a choice. I chose honesty. I chose peace. I chose myself. My story did not end with love lost. It began with self-respect found.